What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burroaks77 coming to you live with my man McAfee here to bring you box to box on Gold Boys Twitch. Shout out Gold Boys for hosting as always. Shout out to our sponsors over at Pickett Sports. It's a great way to track your bets, track your units, make sure you're staying profitable, shop lines, gives you really cool visualized data, all that shit. So yeah, go fuck with Pickett Sports. What's good, McAfee? How'd you do yesterday?
Yesterday, not as good as I would have liked. I had a couple little bets that hit. Um, Outside of the only thing in the channel that hit was the Artur Cabral hit goal in the Fiorentina match. A lot of like my plays were just grabbing like the strikers to have shots on target. So like Dusan shot on target that got called away for offside. That lost me a bet. Trying to think what else was the other one. Diaby not getting a shot on target. I had him paired with Tommy Abraham. So just a couple things like that, and I had a couple little plays that I didn't put in the channel, so I don't really want to brag too much on those. But so soccer was just kind of meh. I think I lost about a unit or so on the slate yesterday. So hopefully
Yeah,
this week it'll be better.
I had kind of the same feeling. I didn't love. I mean, the Europa games are tricky. I didn't. I got the results I was expecting. So, um, I almost really wanted to pull the trigger and jump on Roma money line, but I didn't do it. I just thought the way the money moved on that was a little odd to me. With Jose Mourinho having his reputation for what he does in Europe. When I did my Wednesday show, that line was plus 110 for Roma money line. You could get Leverkusen on a draw no bet at plus 155, plus 160 ish. And we just saw a lot of money come in on Leverkusen. And Roma ended up squeaking out the job and doing exactly what Jose Mourinho does, a 1-0 masterclass where they didn't let Leverkusen breathe or get very many shots up. So I was a little surprised to see that money line drift all the way out to plus 140. And I probably should have bought back like my instinct was telling me to do, but I just stayed off of it.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that both teams to score and Juve Sevilla hit. I thought Juve would get two. I know Dusan came off kind of early there. Juve was able to secure the draw late there in stoppage time. So that one kind of unfolded just how I expected. My only play was Frimpong shot on target yesterday, and I had to wait till the 93rd minute for that to cash. So
Mhm. Was
it
that the
was just,
one where the keeper came out and spilled it, and he shot and the defender blocked it on the line?
yep,
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that was sweaty.
yeah.
Was
So
sweaty. I
that
gotta get my hair up, man. It's getting a little toasty.
for sure. Yeah, that was a nice little backdoor plus 210. I did like the both teams to score in Juve versus Sevilla. It moved from plus 105 to plus 125 and ended up cashing. I stayed off of it though. El Nasiri is just playing really well. Sevilla is they're dogs in Europe, man. They're playing really well. So it'll be interesting going back to Spain with a drawn match. Because it looks like Juve is going to keep their points and they're going to be playing in UCL no matter what. So maybe this Europa title isn't their main focus, whereas Sevilla definitely need a title here to play in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I was feeling putting a Sevilla play in. Same kind of thing. Like I just felt like it's they're experts in this tournament, and Juve, where are they at? But with the lineup that they rolled out, Allegri put out, I was confident enough to go ahead and trust them. But yeah, I mean Allegri, they didn't click, so I can't be too upset with him. But yeah, he made 5 changes I think before like even the 70th minute mark, and so yeah, player props obviously a pretty bad game if you were on the Juve side of things because I don't think they did much. I mean, I know, the usual characters like Di Maria and Rabiot and Vlahovic and Kostic and stuff like that. All these guys pretty much went a goose egg on their props. So, what was it? Pogba late, and I forget who got the goal. It was another substitute, right? They got the goal. I can't
Yes,
remember
it
the guy,
was.
guy who
It
came
was
on. The guy who
Gatti.
came on for Bonucci after he got hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely tough sledding yesterday. Very few shots on target. There were some shots, like they definitely put up shots, but yeah, it just goes to show like when you get into tournament football and you get deep into these tournaments, everything's at a premium and you gotta
Yeah,
keep that in mind when we try and keep that in mind when we're handicapping and bringing you guys stuff because putting a guy for that's minus 325 for a shot on target and seeing Juve only put up 3 shots on target, that's going to be tough. So shots
yep,
on target aren't always the safe alternative to goals that we sometimes think they are. Because you got to be clinical here, especially in the finals.
yeah.
So when you're shooting, you should be scoring.
Well, and Chesney, I mean, had two big saves in that first half too.
Yeah,
So Sevilla could have really piled it on, but a couple real nice stops that kept him in it. So
yeah, definitely one of the better keepers in Europe for sure. Chesney is a monster between the pipes there. Um,
he's a gooner. That's why we just print. We're like a factory for good keepers. Like you just look across the landscape, guys that have come through our system. I think there's like 10 of them starting across Europe right now. It's pretty crazy, and then I'm not talking in like obscure, uh, small little leagues. We've got Chesney and Fabianski, and I mean, it just the list goes on of guys that have come through there. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Who do you got winning the Europa League and the Conference League? Do you think? Like, is there a future bet that you've made or anything like that?
I don't have an open future bet.
Mhm.
Um, I liked taking Sevilla at plus money to advance. I want to say they were like plus 140, plus 145. Um, I like I want to like Leverkusen. They just haven't shown me much, especially lately. So yeah, for me, I think it's kind of Roma's to lose here. I think that's kind of been Jose's whole plan. If you win Europa, you automatically get UCL ball. They're clearly not taking care of business in Serie A. So this is the way. This is the way where you can be like, okay, we haven't handled our business in Serie A, but if we win Europa and go to UCL, that's money, budget, next year, because that's what this is. It's his first year at Roma. He's just starting to get a couple of his players. And he went out and got Wijnaldum, which I thought was a good move to get him from PSG.
Mhm.
And then he immediately got hurt. So it's been a slog for Roma, and they're definitely doing an on the fly rebuild, but I trust Jose Mourinho to take care of his business here in Europe.
Yeah, they got to get a better keeper next year because I think Patricio is, uh,
Letting in way too many cheap ones.
yeah, and he doesn't command his box well. He kind of comes out and just flaps around. I've never really been a big fan of his, but he's started a lot of games in Europe for a lot of bigger clubs, so he's not terrible, but it's just I think that's an area of an improvement. I think you're right. I think we'll get Sevilla and Roma in the final, and I think Roma will be a small favorite in that. But yeah, and what about the Conference League? You think the Hammers will get it done?
I think so.
Yeah,
I I I was a little surprised by Fiorentina's result. I'm not gonna lie, dropping
Mhm.
that second goal to Basel.
Yeah,
Um, but Fiorentina might come out and put 3 up on the road. So I'm not super confident in Conference League. But I'm interested. I think it would be I think it'd be a really cool to see a non, Power Five team there for Conference League. I think
Yeah,
West Ham. This is the only trophy they can get, and they're in trouble over in the EPL. So they got to get
they're
full
safe
focus
now.
here.
I think they're safe now with their win, right? They're
I think so. I think
yeah.
they've pulled themselves out of the relegation talks. But I mean, look, this club had top six aspirations to
Sure.
start the season, so they need something to hang their hats on here.
Yeah, they. I think West Ham, at least on paper, I mean, they're at 37 points, so yeah, they're not safe. But mathematically, basically, they would need to like lose out, and either Leicester or Leeds need to win out to basically catch them.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I mean they're relatively comfortable there. I think they can uh, push their chips in here and try to win a European trophy, which would be huge. And they're obviously the best team. They have the most money of any of these clubs left, so I think I would back them. I don't know what their current price is to win the tournament. I'm gonna shop that, or maybe Sam can find it while lurking in the background. But yeah, I think I might make a little bet on West Ham to win it if it's in a playable range.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little tougher now that they have a result under their belts. Um, so you might get some minus money there, but yeah, I don't hate that. I could see, I would say West Ham and Fiorentina are probably the two picks, just because, again, like you mentioned, they have the little better, more beefed up rosters, a little more money. So. What do you want to do? You want to start with EPL? You want to talk promotion for championship? What are you thinking today?
Wherever you're feeling, I'm happy to go. I know that uh, Burnley won, and I know that Sheffield are going up as well. And then the playoff is set, right? Or is it
Yeah, so Sunderland has Luton Town on Saturday.
okay? Let's
And then
let me pull up the slate here, and I'll peek.
it's Middlesbrough versus fuck.
Coventry,
Yeah,
England, and then Championship.
and that's on Sunday at 7 a.m. too. So um for that one, I definitely like Middlesbrough. I think everybody knows I'm a Middlesbrough fan. Zach Steffen over there um, is a buddy of mine that I do my other show with. So yeah, I definitely like Middlesbrough. I like what Archer's been doing for them as of late. He's been red hot for them at the right time. And then you obviously got Chuba Akpom, who's been very good, leading. I believe he's still leading championship in goals scored. So.
Mm-hmm.
I like Middlesbrough. They're technically the road team, but this is all played at Wembley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is all on a neutral field. I like Middlesbrough. Their problem is their back line is kind of shaky and definitely puts Zach to work very frequently. So if they gotta keep some goals out of the back of their net there. They got to tighten up defensively, but I like Middlesbrough over Coventry, and I'll probably be playing some Chuba or some Archer props in that one.
Yeah, if I had to root for a team, I would say Burrow probably, but I do have a ticket that I grabbed early in the year. Talking to Nigel, he gave Luton to me as a tip at like I think I got it at 850. I got to really dig through some bet slips to figure out where that is. So I do have a betting interest in here, but no real big emotional investment. I'll have to wait for lineups and look at different things. But yeah, you mentioned a couple guys like Akpom for a goal. I think could be a good shout.
Can we talk about how fucking Millwall shit the bed last week too? Millwall is up 3-1 on Blackburn to get the final play-in spot
Mhm.
over Coventry and choke that game away 4-3.
That's pretty bad.
That's
I
real
mean,
fucking bad. They were at home too.
I'm trying to remember the last time Millwall was in the top flight. It's been a while, and I
In
mean,
90s, right?
yeah, they're a big club with a big supporter group. So I mean, it for me as an Arsenal fan, another London club in the Premiership, I'm just like, gosh, like how many London derbies can we run into in one season? But yeah, I think I don't know the Luton Sunderland. I think Luton can get past them. I think Burrow get past them in the final. Probably Burrow, but I don't have any bets in pocket. I'll probably wait till seeing any lineups to decide to fire on it because it is fun. You get into these they're great matches to bet on usually.
Yo,
There's just so much at stake, so the teams really go crazy for it.
yeah, they call it the most expensive match in football for a reason because the TV, the money, the everything with that comes with
Yeah,
being in the EPL just for a single season is ridiculous. So
yeah.
yeah,
I made a bunch of money on Forest's promotion last year. That was
I likewise did make a ton of money on Blackpool getting promoted to the championship from League One. Um, what they went down a goal like in the first minute 35 and went to like plus 500, and I was watching a bunch of them at the time. They also had those sick creamsicle fucking orange and like cream white kits,
yeah.
so they coughed up a goal in like the first 90 seconds, and I was like, I had them draw no bet at plus money before. I'm still taking it, I'm still riding it, so we cashed a nice one on that last season.
Always they're always synonymous. The name that pops up is Charlie Adam. Whenever I hear that name, I'm just like, gosh, that when they had their Premier League season, a bunch of characters like Giovanni was there, and all. I mean, yeah, it's wild, and that's what makes it fun. Is some of these smaller clubs can pop up and dance with the big boys for a year. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't got anything in League One or anything like that to go over, but we do have some good stuff though, Premier League wise. I was looking at the slate on
Yeah,
Saturday.
we
I think we
definitely
got
do.
a lot of bettable matches. Where do you want to go?
Let's start with Newcastle versus Leeds.
Yeah,
So I think this line on Newcastle is pretty disrespectful. They're only like minus 150 favorites at home versus Leeds. And they need points. They need to keep this top four battle.
I think it's at Leeds. That's why that's what the
Oh,
line.
that's right. I wrote it down wrong. It is at Leeds. So yeah, but I mean, Newcastle, Leeds have been bleeding goals. Newcastle's been scoring pretty well, except for the Arsenal game where you guys did a nice job. But yeah, this is a bounce back, get right game for Newcastle. Leeds, they are fighting for their lives. But minus 150 on Newcastle is just. Uh, I'm not gonna lay the juice because that's just a little too juicy for me. Newcastle and over 1.5 total goals is minus 120.
Yeah, this I think the bookies are respecting Allardyce here because this is a game that Leeds have to have if they're going to stay up. And I think that's why the price is where it is. I don't want to get in front of Newcastle, though. Don't get me wrong. I think Eddie Howe did get his tactics a little wrong in their last match. I don't think Wilson and Isak, like, they're both really good players, but I don't think you play them both at the same time. I think, losing that body in midfield, I think it hurt him a little bit. So I would expect them to go there and get the win, yes, but I don't know. It's just like there's too many things running into with the desperation of Leeds. Like I said, they have to win this game or they're down. So I
Well,
don't like.
they have West Ham and Tottenham after this.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
West Ham is a little bit more of a winnable game. And
look
I
at
think
their point situation though. It's they have to win. So I don't like betting against teams with their backs against the wall like this. Unless I know that I haven't seen any fight out of them. You know, sometimes a team will just accept it. And I think with Leeds, you get a pretty crazy effort here. No, I don't think there's enough value on the money line for me to take a shot at Leeds, but a double chance I don't hate actually. Because at 1 point it still gives them a glimmer of hope if they can win their last 2 games. So
yep.
And with Newcastle, any points right now are good points. So
Yep.
a point is probably, let's see, that'll put them at 66 with 2 matches to go. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to try to win the match. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's just one that I may bet some shots and just kind of fuck around like that and not worry about the side.
Yeah, the Leeds team will be shooting. That's for sure. Anytime they're anywhere close, they're gonna shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Next one I got is I like the Aston Villa Tottenham game. I hand up. I fucked Aston Villa over. I started running my mouth about Unai Emery being coach of the year in the EPL. They have since dropped.
You're the cooler, huh?
They have since dropped several games in a row. That said, Tottenham on the road fucking blows. They are 5-5-7. They're not good. Via very bettable number here, plus 130-ish. This is you got to get right here, Via, because this is a European spot on the line. Take it to Tottenham. Get all 3 of these points at home in your building. Right the ship. Finish the season on a strong note. Give me Via at plus 130.
Yeah, that would put them even on points too. Goal differential, Tottenham will still be ahead. I would think they're not going to beat them like 6-0 or something, which is bad enough to flip the goal difference. So right now, they have a +3, and Spurs have a +7. It looks like, if my quick math is right. So they would need a pretty comprehensive victory to flip spots with them there, but I don't put it past them to beat them. Definitely not. And I think this is a match where Spurs could drop points. Ryan Mason, caretaker manager. I mean, there's not much there. He doesn't really have any tactical plan or anything beyond just kind of regurgitating what it. Yeah, he's filled in for Poch after Poch got sacked, and now he's filling in after Conte after he got sacked. And well, Conte's number 2, who got a couple matches too. But yeah, it's just the plan is try to get the ball to Harry Kane. Maybe Son can do something crazy. Outside of that, like, to me, a nice little Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane shot on target kind of look. Hopefully that's around even money. That'll be something that's in my bet slip, because I just think that's a solid bet. Romero card, if it's north of $2, then I'll definitely be on that as well. And yeah, in the midfield, I think you'll see some spiciness. Like there's some guys in there that aren't afraid to put a foot in. You got Luis for Villa, and Ollie Skip. That's his name, right? Oliver Skip.
Yeah.
Spurs. So yeah, I could see those two coming together in midfield and both catching a booking. But yeah, I'm hoping Villa win, because fuck Tottenham, Right?
Yeah. I think this is a good at home get right game for Villa with Europe on the horizon, because they got 2 games left. Pick up some points. They can separate themselves from Tottenham here without needing the goal differential, in my opinion.
This would be the double on them too, because they beat them at the Toilet Bowl 2-0, and Louise got one and Buendia got one that day. That was back right after the World Cup. So I don't have their history in front of me, but I think that would be a rare double for Villa to do over Spurs. So
Yeah, I mean, Villa, we got to remember this. Villa was looking at relegation. They were looking at getting rid of Tyrone Mings. They were looking at tearing this organization apart. And then they went out and got Unai Emery, and now they're competing for a European spot. And they extended Mings, and the locker room problems are gone.
there you go. Well, I think it all was stemming to, they didn't like Gerrard. Gerrard didn't really have a plan, and
yeah, it's just Aston Villa this season have been trending up, whereas Tottenham is, if you want to call it holding steady, I guess they're holding steadily mid-level garbage. They're steady mid-level garbage. And it seems to be going down now that you're on your third fucking manager.
Yeah, they're taking on water. I'll have to break out my video again because every time they have a comedic result, I don't know why it cracks me up. It's just from Britain's Got Talent or whatever, but it's just so stupid and so funny.
Oh, the guy with the construction
guy taking off the vest,
ripping off the same construction vest.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why it pops me every time. It's so dumb. Like,
it is funny.
My kid's like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "This," and he's like, "It's not that funny." Like, I'm like, "No."
Just wait till you're my age, man. That's just hilarious.
Right. I see the dumb shit you laugh at. But yeah, I don't know. Forest beats Chelsea, right?
What's up? No,
next one beats Chelsea, right?
Okay, at this point, Chelsea doesn't even fucking care. They got the monkey off their back with you guys still might get relegated, and now everyone's just like, get through these last fucking games so I can play some golf, get out of the media, and everyone can leave me the fuck alone till our owner can figure out how to rebuild this club, because we are in shambles.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to take a chance on Forest here. I think that
they've been playing good ball. There's no shame in that.
They're creating chances. They're scoring goals. I think that they can go there and get a result. A point is a big point for them, so I don't know if I'll take them to win. Because I do respect Chelsea's players enough that I think.
Hey, you see the ball hit the back of the net 3 times. That might wake up some of these Chelsea guys.
Yep, and I mean, I think they've got, it's no coincidence that Conte's got a few games back. Thiago Silva's got a few games back. Like, some of their best and most experienced players are fit again and back in the side. So I think that helps add some stability. I think, we'll see. I mean, the kid, Madueke, I think is his name, that they've got playing on the right wing. He's been okay. I think he's earned a spot in the team. I think we'll see. I'm willing to take a chance on.
If they run 3 in the back with Chilwell playing left wing again, continue to look at his shots on target, because he's gonna get them and they're plus money.
Yeah, it's. I guess you have to wait to see what the lineup Chelsea put out is going to look like, but
yeah, because they've run 4 different formations in the last 4 games, so
Frank's just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what
sticks. And my guess is 3 in the back just worked, so let's go 3 in the back again.
Well, and I think with on the Forest side of things, Gibbs White had a really good match.
Yes, he did.
Taiwo scored a quick brace, and both finishes were like really, really good. It was like he was looking like Zlatan up there, like just with the class of the first touch finishes. I was like, oh my God, like where the hell is this guy coming from? But I don't know. Forest just they have something about them, and I think they'll stay up. And so I don't know. I don't know where I want to go with it. I hope Forest and Everton stay up. Those are the teams I'm rooting for. I know Leicester and Leeds. I just think that they're going down. I don't know. Forest and Everton have shown me just enough. Like they've got that fight. They did this last year too. When Frank was there before he got sacked. Like he comes in and they somehow survived. I think that experience will serve them, and they'll get through. But Yeah, come on, Forrest, get a point.
The game I actually like is Southampton versus Fulham.
Okay.
Mitrovic is back, baby. It's
Oh, really?
Mitrovic time. He should be fucking pissed off because that 8-game suspension was the biggest dog shit I've ever seen with my own two eyes. So yeah, give me Fulham at plus 150 to send Southampton packing for good.
Yeah, I kind of think so. I don't know how fit Mitro is, and I don't know if you could drop Vinicius right now. I think Mitro comes in as a super sub maybe at the 75th minute or so. I Vinicius has played pretty good, and he took a long time to adapt to English game, which is normal for South American players. But I mean, he scored a couple really good goals, and he looks like he's got his confidence now. So I don't think you take him out of the lineup. And I think Mitro, he's definitely not match fit. Like he's not going to be able to give you 90 minutes. So I think you just kind of introduce him off the bench here. But yeah, Southampton, I think they're down. But again, it's one of those things where you're like, they're not they're not mathematically dead, but they're pretty dead. Like so, I think you can. I don't want to contradict myself here and say, bet against a team that's desperate because I just said don't do it with Leeds. But
Fulham's
Leeds,
still got an outside chance at one top 10. They're probably going to be hanging around that top 10, but I mean, seventh gets you into a European spot.
yeah, and for me, I do think this is a game that Fulham will just have too much for him. Willian, he's one of these guys that quality delivery. He there's a really good player there on his day, and I was impressed with Tom Kearney. I think he had a brace in Fulham's last game. He got to play from the start in a central attacking midfield position, and I think he rewarded Silva's faith in him. Fulham had been playing Pereira there all season long. And so Kearney was more of had a sub role. And I thought he starred in that with his 2 goals. Took them both really well. I think one with the left, one with the right too. So I think they just have too much firepower. And like I already talked about Vinicius up top, like I think they just got too much for Southampton, who do look like they're going down.
Yeah, it's James Ward-Prowse and 10 other names on Southampton.
Yeah, I do like Alvarez. I thought they brought him in January. He's been plucky. I think he's a good player, and yeah, they'll have a bunch of guys that will be in the Premier League next year, like Walker Peters, their fullback. I think is a Premier League player, and then James Ward-Prowse will get plucked, and probably I don't know. Shea Adams feels like a championship level striker to me. Looking through their squad, like there's just not a ton of great players there right now. They've got and they're bottom of the table for a reason. So they lose so many players every year, and the replacements just haven't clicked this time. So I'm sure Southampton will bounce right back though. Next year in the championship they'll be one of the favorites. So I think you're on the right track with Fulham.
Last one I got for EPL that I like is Brentford West Ham. I really like getting Brentford at plus money here at home. It's the Bees. They lost a little bit of their sting earlier, but they've been buzzing. You're getting a nice price on Ivan Toney, who we know he's missed a grand total of 1 penalty kick in his career. So
he scores every other game, and Brentford didn't score in the last one. I say he scores every other game, so he didn't score in the last match. So I think, I guess he would be due. in that last match against Liverpool, I mean, that's
He's the third leading scorer in EPL, by the way, guys. Like he's scored more than Salah. He's scored more than Rashford. He's scored more than Odegaard. He's scored more than Martinelli. It's Holland, Kane, Tooney.
yeah, yeah. West Ham just have us. They have a really good 11 right now that's clicking.
I did just play yesterday.
Right, and so Sunday, that is Brentford will definitely have the fresher legs, and so I think you might see Brentford get the win here, but I don't think they can keep West Ham off the score sheet. I think they have such a good settled 11 right now, and Ben Rama is in great form, Antonio's in good form. Paqueta and Bowen and Rice and Suchek and all. I mean,
Antonio's the most dangerous player on the planet for West Ham right now because he's playing just good enough that you go, maybe we'll run it back with him. And it's never worked out once.
He's just a perfect forward for a team that's not going to play with the ball. Like he's willing to chase every lost cause and close people down and everything. And yeah, he's never going to be a 20 goal a year forward. That's not. I mean, he started as a defender and like worked his way up not only the West Ham pecking order, but like the formation itself. I remember he breaks in and he's a fullback, and so now he's played so many games for them up top, and he's the number 9. But I don't know. It's a good one. Everton, Man City. I think Everton have a chance to pull an upset here. Not maybe an upset by getting something out of the game, we'll say. I doubt that they beat City. But you've got two teams that this match, like, it means a lot. Like, obviously, this is a relegation scrapped Everton side against a team fighting for the league. But City also have Real Madrid on Wednesday. So this is like
I've already been complaining about the Sunday game.
Right. This is a perfect spot for Everton to try to grab something because I think City will change their team a little bit. I think you get Alcaraz. I think you get the problem is their change team is still very fucking good.
Their subs are still first team players for pretty much every other squad.
Right. They're starters for national teams and all this other so a changed City side, yeah. Even if you roll Foden and Alcaraz and Mahrez and stuff, they still can hurt Everton, but man, that place is going to be fucking rocking. And Everton are in good form. Like, tell me a player that had a better week than Dwight McNeil. Like, that dude ripped the pitch apart and like scored 2 goals. I think I'm going to take Everton to get something out of that match, especially once I see the lineups. And I bet you De Bruyne doesn't play. I bet you Haaland doesn't play. I bet we'll see a bunch of guys out of the team because City can drop points here and still win the title. Like it's one of those things. This is not a must-win game for them. So
I think the game against Real Madrid's a must-win game.
But exactly, that's the must-win game. So yeah, I think Everton could be a sneaky play here. Definitely don't load up on City before you see the lineup. If you're a City, like, hey, they're the best team in the world, they'll never lose to anybody type of person. We know guys like that. Oh no, without naming names.
I will. I'll put him on blast. Ahmed, fuck him and fuck all his only chalk should win all the time philosophy. Right.
Yeah, I think Everton could get something. So I guess we'll wait and see. Arsenal Brighton is interesting.
It is. It definitely is interesting. And Arsenal's a very bettable number.
Yep, they're in range. I think at home here, Arsenal get it done. I didn't know what to think of Jakub Kuwar, the young Polish defender that has come into the side. I bet him to get carded his first match. He came in as a sub once and then did a couple like really rash, like aggressive tackles. But since then, I think he's adjusted his game slightly. I'm seeing an intelligent defender here that I think could be a really good player. We'll see. And I'm sure Arsenal will run Jesus up top with Martinelli and Saka, but this would be a fun game to play Trossard from the start. You know, we bought him from Brighton in January. I wouldn't hate to see him in the side. Odegaard's the builder in the league probably right now, so I think it's hard to not want to take his shots. I think he's getting like 3 shots on target per match. It's pretty nuts right now how aggressive he's being. He's backpacking this team. So midfield behind him, probably Jorginho, Xhaka. I think Arsenal do have enough to get it done. But we see how Brighton play. It'll be an open game. It'll be an attacking game. This could be a Premier League classic. Like, if you told me this game had 6 goals in it, I wouldn't be shocked.
I would be a little bit just because of Brighton's recent offensive performances. They're definitely missing some guys up there that are big contributors. So yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I would be pretty surprised if you told me there were 6 or 7 goals in this game and you weren't telling me that Arsenal scored 5 of them.
Well, yeah, so they did. They beat Brighton 4-2 at the Amex, and so now it's at the carpet. I think Arsenal are good for 3 goals in this match. I really do. Because the pressure's off, kind of. Like, I think it was getting to the team a little bit. Now
the pressure's been off since you dropped the game to City.
Yeah, and so it's freeing in that sense where now we could just go play.
Yeah, you secured your Champions League spot. Yeah. So now everything else is gravy. Just don't get hurt. Don't get a fucking season-ending injury that's going to hamper you for the start of next season. Yeah, that's the only goal right now.
That Zinchenko is shut down for the end of the year. Saliba's shut down as well. So, like, yeah, the doctors and sporting directors and stuff are working. They're being smart.
I'd give Nazaketa some more run too. I mean, what's the use in running Jesus out there?
Yeah, I mean, Eddie could play up top, but I think Jesus, they want to have him finish strong here. And Eddie, we kind of know where he's at. But yeah, Tierney, he's an interesting one. I'm a big fan of Kieran Tierney. He gets these last 3 matches here this season. He dropped below Zinchenko in Arteta's pecking order. So I think some big performances out of him. I'll probably look at his assists and his shot on target props for this week because the way Brighton play, their fullbacks get forward big time. And so there are spaces left in behind. And I think Tierney might be a guy that can get forward and take advantage of that. So on the Brighton side of things, I mean, Matoma, he's going to have too much pace for Ben White. I think he'll potentially have a nice game. He's a guy I think could potentially score, but his shots on target might be a look. McAllister, obviously another good player. He's able to pop up in these spots. His intelligence is really good. I think he's going to
McAllister's leading scorer for Brighton too, which is,
well, because we bought Trossard, that's why Trossard would have kept it going. But yeah, McAllister, he's so good. I believe Liverpool are going to sign him, right? That's the smoke is that they've already discussed some contracts, and I think they're going to sign him like right when the season ends, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't know. I think Arsenal will get it done. It'll be a fun match. And then there's nothing on Monday, right? Or no, Leicester-Liverpool. Leicester-Liverpool will be a banger of a match. Like, talk about 6 goals. That one will have 6 goals in it, too.
Yeah.
Very bettable game, but we don't have to go all the way out to Monday. We haven't even hit the other countries, so.
It's all good. There's a couple of games I like in Spain. We were just on the phone before we went live. We were talking to our boy Buckets John. And this game right here has Buckets John written all over it. We got Sociedad hosting Girona. We know our boy John's love for Girona. I've been a fan as well since they went and signed Tati Castellanos. It's really nice not only seeing them do well, but they're currently in a European spot right now for Spain. they got a good match here, and you can get both teams to score -105, -110. I love that price. I think Girona definitely have a goal. Sociedad have been leaky lately. Yeah, I like them being able to go into the Basque Country and steal a goal here off of Sociedad. So I really like the price on both teams to score. If Tati is anywhere in like the +275 to 300 range, I'll be looking at it very seriously. If I see Castellanos above +300, it's a must bet for me with the form he's in right now.
Yeah, he's in fantastic form. I think there's a lot of Sociedad have a lot of good guys. We've talked about it every time they pop up. We like Kubo. We like Solarov. We like David Silva, obviously, as well. I
Always
mean,
the ball's been playing nice
yeah,
for them.
yeah. So
Braithwaite, they got a lot of good guys.
yep.
Or no, sorry, Braithwaite's on Espanol. My bad.
Espanol. Yeah, but yeah, it could be a. I can see the both teams score angle. That usually happens in Girona matches, right? They're like
something like it was over 80% for a long time. I don't know if it's still up that high. Sociedad is tough defensively. They've only given up 29 goals this year in 33 matches, but they had the injury bug. They finally started to find some form. They've won 3 of their last 4 with a draw thrown in there. So, but yeah, Girona, they're scrappy. They're sitting in a European spot. They can pick up some more points and try and distance themselves from Bilbao here. I like Girona to score a goal and maybe even potentially work to a draw here against Sociedad, because I think Sociedad, they're not mathematically safe, but they're pretty safe from dropping out of UCL down to Europa, because I just don't think Villarreal are going to be able to finish their season strong on the road. That said, the next game I want to talk about is Villarreal Bilbao, because they're 5-8 on the table. Villarreal is still technically chasing Sociedad for a UCL spot, but Villarreal at home here versus who's significantly better at home than they are on the road versus a Bilbao team who's significantly worse on the road than they are at home. The fact that I can get Villarreal here at plus money is a little ridiculous. On my Wednesday show, we do the Golden Booty Wheel where you got to pick a goal scorer. I'm staying with Jackson. Jackson's fucking red hot right now. He's playing great football for Villarreal. I really like everything he's been doing. So I got Jackson for a goal, and I got Villarreal to win this game.
Yeah, if I like what you're on with Villarreal. I do think they'll win. But this is a good one for shots on target.
The Williams brothers for sure.
Yep. Inaki's been in really good form. Last few times I've seen him play, he's turned up. He's played well.
Couple of woodworks that got under my skin a bit, but
yeah,
hey,
yeah. Chukwueze, of course. We've talked about him a ton. Alex Baena, another player I like a lot. The two guys I like are Sanchez for Bilbao and Baena for Villarreal. I like both of their games. I like how aggressive they are. We'll see. I think this could be a lot of fun. I hope for a nice open and attacking game. When they play, it's not really been as crazy. It's been a lot of 1-1s and 1-0, that type of stuff. But I want to see goals, even though it says less than 2.5 goals is probably the play. We're in that time of the year. I think things.
Yeah, Bilbao fighting for that European spot definitely makes me think that they can get a goal here on the road. I do think Villarreal scored 2 here at home, though, and that's why I'm taking them on the money line.
Oh, what about Madrid?
What about Madrid? I don't really want to like they're gonna play Hazard and Mariano and hopefully an academy kid. I will watch for the academy kid.
Oh yeah,
Mariano's a fucking waste of space. I hate
who's the
watching
kid?
him.
Who's the 18-year-old or 17-year-old from like Uruguay? That pot. He scored a couple goals.
The
Like
kid that put the header in?
yeah, in like January or February or something. Like who's that? What's that kid's name? Can't
Oh,
remember. Sorry to put you on the spot.
yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head to
Yeah,
be honest with you. That's more my partner's question and
gotcha.
area of expertise.
Yeah, the to me, I mean, it's a game where Asensio runs the show. If I'm wanting to, you can't really back Madrid because they're not going to play their big players, that's for sure. But I do think Asensio is
I feel like
probably
this
a
is a
lot.
Hazard game. I feel like this
Really,
is a Hazard looks like Morata blows 3 big chances, but somehow puts one in and gets a dumb fuck assist credit.
yeah, Tchouaméni, and I think Tchouaméni, Asensio. You'll see these guys, kind of Dani Ceballos. Um, God, I think those are the guys to target. Asensio probably for shots, maybe as a goal scorer, maybe as
If
a
Tooch plays,
left-footed
shot
goal.
on target for
Yeah,
sure out of Tooch.
Booch. Yep, he loves to take a rip from 25 yards out. See if
Good
he,
ones too that are on dude, he almost scored a fucking game-winning goal there at the end.
yeah, he's lot to like. Good player for the future, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one because there's going to be such a changed team. I mean, there's probably nobody that plays uh, that is going to start on Wednesday, right? So, I mean,
Unless you buy into the rumor. So I personally don't. Sam asked me about this earlier. I know he's producing today, but feel free to chime in. There's a rumor going around that Madrid's going to run a 4-4-2 against City, play a little more defensively, and not play Rodrigo and go with 4 midfielders, which I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. That said, if they do, in Carlo, I trust anything he does. He knows what's on the line here. He knows how to get results. I just don't know if they're going to make that sort of a tactical change. I do think Rudiger played very well and kept Holland in his pocket most of the game and pestered him. But yeah, it just depends on what you believe with the rumor situation. I think our midfield is great, even with all the backups. I've said all year. I know Ceballos is an old Arsenal guy. Like I'm happy to extend him if he wants to stay. He's a perfect backup midfielder. He brings energy. He brings spark. He makes the right passes. He can put up a shot or two when called upon. So I obviously love Tooch. He's part of our future. I think every game he plays, he gets better. The healthier he stays, the better he's going to be. So yeah, I mean, this is a good game for a Madrid fan if you kind of want to see what the future might look like in the midfield. But
what it's going to look
it's
like. You just got to watch Dortmund games and
oh,
watch
dude,
them.
see, like, yo,
Right.
I fucking love the rumor that we might get Kimmich in 2024. Like,
Oh
you,
no, you guys aren't getting Kimmich. You're going to have Bellingham and Kamavinga and Chouameni. That's your midfield for the next 10 years, right?
what if we play? Hey, if you keep Carlo, Kamavinga will play anywhere for him. Keep him at left back. Now we got Bellingham, Tuchemeni, and Kimmich.
So you'll replace, like, Mendy will come back and you'll sign a left back maybe to cover. You're gonna move Kamavinga into midfield.
We need a right back. We need somebody to replace Danny.
Yeah, well,
And it's not Vasquez. It's certainly the fuck not Lucas Vasquez.
yeah. There's a lot of guys out there.
From
I know
Pong
you
to
were on
Madrid. I've been
Frimpong
pushing that for months.
for the Leverkusen right back. Yeah, I think he may you may see him make a move. I think Hakimi makes sense. I think because
I think the price tag on Hakimi is going to be a little high.
Could be pretty high, no doubt. but yeah, Bellingham seems like it's all but done, right? And then I don't know where. I guess that puts Mbappe off another year, uh, which is probably fine because you're still going to want to play Benzema, and you can't shoehorn Benny out of the team and to accommodate for Mbappe. So
Absolutely
in,
not.
until Benzema's
You mean Ballon d'Or leading Vinicius Jr.?
so yeah, I mean it's is he ahead of Messi now? I thought Messi,
No,
yeah.
it's because the Ballon d'Or is the most bullshit trophy in the entire planet. Messi, they're going to give it to Messi for
Oh yeah,
doing
that's a lot.
absolutely nothing.
Now backpacking Argentina to the World Cup. I don't know if that counts as nothing,
I don't
but
know if 5 penalty kicks
hey,
is considered backpacking.
yeah, how many guys miss penalties in the World Cup? Like, and not only that, I he does so much for the team other than just to make a penalty. But I think
You didn't
it's
do shit for PSG, I'll tell you that. They're so unhappy with him they suspended him.
well, I mean, because they know he's twerking for Barca and Barca's twerking for him, and they're just sour grapes about it. I mean, that
I cannot wait until Barca pulls 6 levers to get Messi, who gets injured, and then his legacy's ruined. Barca lose points. They get
wait,
their financial
Messi's
sanctions.
legacy is so secure. Like, there's nothing he can't
Not a
do anything.
chance. He comes back and financially ruins that club and gets him demoted.
See, he doesn't need the money. Like, he'll take a deal far below the market value for him because he makes so much money. Do what, Sam?
I mean, yo, these are the conversations people want to hear. Like,
Yeah. Where are we going, Sam? Produce us next. What do you want to hear next? Talk to us.
right? Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear us talk about the 2 bettable Italian games? Because I have 2 bettable Italian games. There's nothing in Germany worth betting on, and nobody's really interested in MLS except for me and you, Sam. Sure. Cool. The best game in Serie A is Bologna versus Roma. Bologna at home is very fucking good. And Roma, their focus is on winning Europa, as we said at the beginning of the show. Bologna also got Arnautovic back. He came on as a sub, played 30 good or 25, 30 good minutes for him. If Arnautovic starts at home, I'm definitely taking him for a goal. I don't think he'll play the full 90. But if he gets 65, 70 minutes under his belt, he was the #2 leading scorer in Serie A before he got injured. He's fucking nasty. Anybody who watches him for Austria knows he's nasty. He was I want to say top 3, but don't quote me on that. He was top 5 goal scorer in Serie A last year. Bologna at home get the job done. They really respect their home pitch. And like we said, Roma doesn't have a ton to play for. So the fact you can get Bologna on a draw no bet sitting right around plus 130, I think is a really nice price. Don't expect a ton of possession from Bologna. That's not their game. They'll let Roma have the ball. They'll sit back, and then what Bologna does best is they move quickly on the counter, and that's what Roma struggles defending. So that's why I like Bologna here on a draw no bet.
I won't touch the match. So whatever Oak said, that sounds good to me.
Yep. Fiorentina versus Udinese. I think that's a little bit of an interesting one too, just because Fiorentina did end up losing to Basel yesterday. Fiorentina's been in great form. I want to say that's their first game where they took a loss in like 12. I want to say they were on 11 or 12 unbeaten before that loss. So Udinese definitely has some talent, but uh, at my point, it's kind of what do they care about? They're not making Europe, and neither is Bologna. But Bologna's trying to work out, they kept Arnautovic. They put their money on we're going to keep Arnautovic and we're going to build around him. So I think they put him out there play, and they do care about those home fans. Like I said, they care about their home record. So that's That's not the game I was trying to talk about, though. My bad. It was Fiorentina Udinese. So I think Fiorentina are in line for a little bit of a bounce back here at home versus Udinese. They're minus 120. So a little interest on the price there because I just don't think Udinese have anything to play for. They're not getting relegated. They're not getting European football. They care enough to show up to work, but they want to get the fuck out of there and hope that there's only like 1 to 3 minutes of extra time added.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's not a game I'll touch either. I would assume your former Real Madrid striker, Jovic, starts. And so, I mean, if he's up there, potentially look at him. Ikone maybe on the right. I'm not sure exactly, but their best players, Cabral, Gonzalez, and stuff, I don't expect to see. So, again, it's a pass.
Yeah. All right, sure. MLS. I like both teams to score in over 2.5 a lot for Atlanta, Charlotte. Atlanta in the dome. They perform much better in the dome. It's the fastest pitch in the MLS. Charlotte has struggled on the road, but they've been managing to get goals. Atlanta has been very secure in the dome. So that's kind of what this bet hinges on. I think Atlanta get at least one, maybe two. And I'm hoping Charlotte get on the board here. You can get both teams to score over 2.5 at right around even money. It was minus 103 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I'll tell you, I'll go to a league that a lot of people don't care about, but I will watch this game tomorrow for sure. It's a game I never miss. The Old Firm Derby in Scotland. Rangers host Celtic. Celtic are already the champs.
Celtic have already secured the bag.
Yep. So I will take Rangers at plus 180 or so. Find a better.
I like that look.
And Celtic are a good team, but how many 50-50 balls can they really go in there and win? Rangers at Ibrox, the place will be wanting to see them get this win here. So I would definitely back them. Tavernier, whatever his shot on target is, potentially like that, I think is a good look too. Yeah. But yeah, Celtic, I mean, because it's such a fiery match, it'll still be an entertaining watch. But yep, 7:30 in the morning tomorrow. That'll be on my TV for sure. It's just tradition. I never miss that match. And
big rivalry, big derby games do that. Like even when Celtics got the league secured, like there's still an effort to show up for a derby here.
Yeah, I think Rangers will get it done. And so that I mean that's one in kind of a more non-big league that I'm going to probably have a bet on. I think we didn't hit Germany at all. Do you want to talk at all about the German slate, title race, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, the title race would be more interesting if I thought Dortmund were capable of winning a title. Dropping those points to Stuttgart makes me think that Dortmund can't win a title because they just dropped too many valuable points when they needed to get them. When Bayern's unwatchable, guys. Like, I don't know if you've watched a Bayern game since Tuchel took over, but it's unwatchable fucking garbage. They're still getting results, but it's not the same Bayern that I loved watching all season. They play shit football. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean Tuchel much more pragmatic than Nagelsmann was, and I think that the team's just getting used to it. I know their PR is out in full force, saying like, oh, Tuchel, I think he's a good coach. I think
he's a fine coach, and I think that he could probably win some stuff with Bayern. I just think the juxtaposition of Byron, we're going to win the ball and we're going to jam it down your fucking throat for 90 minutes and maybe score 5, 6, or 7 on you to the Tuchel, we don't need the ball and we don't give a fuck. We'll score a goal in the 75th minute and grind out a 1-0 or a 2-0 win. It doesn't entertain me. That's not what I tune into Bundesliga for. I wanted to watch Nagelsmann ball.
They did say, Tuchel in his interview said that the best clubs in the world have a center forward that is scoring and is reliable. So that is a.
I'm sorry. Did El Chapo fell off the fucking face of the planet?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
So
is that maybe something to do with Tuchel's shit ass system?
Well, I think it's just a mix of a bunch of things where, you had. Yes,
you got players running from the door over there. Dude, fucking Mueller said he wants to leave Byron. Like, Mueller doesn't want to play this brand of garbage fucking football.
Yeah, I think they're going to test the resolve. I think they're going to be big in the market for a center forward this year, in the summer. Who they go for? I mean, Kane kind of makes some sense. I think Kane is probably at the point where, like, he doesn't want to try a whole nother thing with a whole nother manager and it's just, to me,
how much do you pay Kane and how long do you do it at his age?
I mean, but you're talking about Bologna building around Arnautovic, who's 34. Kane is what, 32, I think, or 33? Like, Kane's just been around so long, it seems like he's maybe older than what he is. But I think Kane, his game's never been pace. It's more about, his
yeah, and I wouldn't even say that Lewandowski had great pace. I mean, you can have strikers that don't need the pace.
Kane's only 29.
Wingers that are perfectly capable.
Yeah, Kane's even younger than I thought. I thought he was like 31. He's 29. Yeah. To me, that would make perfect sense for him if he's going to leave, not to another English club, but to go somewhere else. And I think Madrid don't seem like they're wanting to go that direction. No. They're going to save their eggs for Mbappe.
He won't come to us. We don't sign guys that are 30 and older for long term. We sign 1-2 year deals for guys 30 and over.
Yeah, I think you guys save your shekels for Mbappe the summer after. But who knows? We'll see. I think this Bayern team should still handle business though against Schalke. And then later in the day, Dortmund face Gladbach. Dortmund, I don't know, man. They like you said, they're a little Jekyll and Hyde. But I think this last few games, I think we see good performances. He had 6 goals in the last time these teams locked up.
Yep, and Adeyemi should have had a hat trick, but he missed his pen. But yeah, 2 goals and an assist. I've been big on Karim Adeyemi since he came over from RB Salzburg. We saw him play in the Champions League qualification rounds for RB Salzburg last year, and it took me all of 35 minutes before I went, yep, that kid's Team Oaks.
Yeah, it's and Dortmund, I mean, they blessed Wolfsburg last weekend, so I think I'll be back jumping in on the Dortmund train. I have made some good money on Dortmund the last month, betting shots, betting goals. So
team total overs, they might, if you're willing to stretch that far, team total over 2.5, you can get some plus money on.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. And then you got to probably take Mbappe to score at least 2 to get plus money. Over there is the one-man band. No, is he playing? I know they suspended him, but is he back? I don't know what's going on.
I don't think so. I think he's out for at least this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what their suspension was, if it was real or what.
The big game in France that I like is Monaco versus Lyon.
Lyon, you mean? When are they?
Lille?
Oh, Lille. Okay, I'm with you. All right. So when do they play? Sunday?
They play Sunday. They got that 11:05 Eastern kickoff. Both teams score a shit ton of goals. There's going to be a shit ton of goals in this one. You got Jonathan David. You got Maffey. Or no, not Maffey. I'm sorry. What the hell is his name for Monaco?
Ben Yedder.
Yeah, you got Ben Yedder. You got Embolo over there. Both of these teams easily capable of scoring 2 goals apiece. Both of these defenses leaky as shit. You might see another game like that Lyon Montpellier game last weekend, which I didn't make it an official pick, but I woke up late. It was like 10 minutes into the game. I took a Laser Cat win cast, and he scores the opening goal for Lyon, and then they promptly go down 1-4 just to dig themselves all the way back out on the back of a Laser Cat hat trick with a final stoppage time PK to win that 5-4. So
I saw that
game would have
scoreline.
been awesome, and I would have loved to watch it. The problem is I don't get BN Sports, and it wasn't on my TV.
God, dude, you got to get BN because they're really their coverage and stuff is pretty good. It used to be when they had La Liga too. It was even for you. It was probably must have. But I just made the switch from Direct TV to YouTube TV this started this month. I'm getting used to it, and I mean, it's only like I think the sport package was like $8 or something extra. So
I get a free BN Sports on like my big smart TV, but it just doesn't always have the specific game I'm trying to watch.
Yeah, BN, they're solid.
I wish they would go to Paramount Plus. I wish they would go to ESPN.
Yeah, I like it a lot better than Paramount Plus, and like their studio stuff. Like they have so many because it's European based. They have like the Champions League show for Paramount Plus is good.
I like their Serie A coverage a lot too. I'm not gonna lie.
I just dig BN Studio because they have like Wenger shows up there, and I don't know. I like watching their productions. I think they do a solid job. But yeah, the French league. I mean, that if that's your jewel, I guess it's not very good. It was
right. It's just a rough TV deal because that's their main league.
Yeah.
And I think France would be better served if they could get on with another league because it would generate more interest, which would generate more revenue. That said, before we get out of here today, do you like anything today? You got anything going on for today's matches?
Let me peek at it. Mallorca, Cadiz, no, I'm not touching that. Lazio, I don't trust. I'm not going to play them at. I mean,
Lecce, it's pretty fair though. I think it's only like -125 for a Lazio money line.
So we have their lineup. Let me look at it. All right, Anderson, Immobile, Milinkovic, Savic, Alberto is in. I mean, you look at that on paper, you would say they have enough to get past Lecce.
Lecce loves stealing points from teams that should beat their ass.
Well, and that's where it's at too. Where like Lazio need the win to kind of solidify their top 4. Lecce, I mean, they're probably safe, but they could be caught. I don't know. I mean, I just can't. This match doesn't really do it for me. For me.
I'm probably gonna throw a dart on Mallorca versus Cadiz. I just both teams to score. With it being a relegation battle at almost +140, I gotta take a little dart on that. I just think there's way too much value there. Especially with Mallorca being on the island. I think Cadiz might be able to grab one here because the possibility of Mallorca taking a red is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
I just think it's really good value at +140. Like if this was sitting around even money or even like plus 115, plus 120, I probably wouldn't be talking about it. But the fact that it's plus 135, plus 140 neighborhood, that's enough. That's enough profit to get me interested on a longer shot like that. Because Mallorca's been scoring at least a goal pretty consistently over their last 10. Cadiz has been spotty, but they've scored 7 in their last 10 matches. So facing relegation on the island with the Mallorca guys who, let's be honest, they're fucking goons. They're the most carded team in La Liga. That makes you fucking goons. That's not a dig at them. That's just how you play football, and that's fine. But the possibility of a red or a Cadiz penalty kick is kind of what I'm banking on here.
Honestly, I think the most bettable match is in France today.
Yeah, the Lens game at home versus
yeah. I think I'll look into some shots on that.
Lens at home is a wagon.
Yeah. I think they'll win the match for sure. I'm trying to see.
An Openda win-cast is probably sitting around plus 135-ish.
It's 155 on FanDuel here.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
That's a playable number. Openda by himself at plus 100 is a little low for me, but with Lens and their home record being only minus 150, playing the win cast definitely gets my attention a little bit.
Yeah, I think they can get it done. Balogun potentially getting shot on target. I don't hate that either. I'm just kind of peeking at it. I'm trying to find value. It's never on FanDuel because
Balogun had 5 shots and hit the woodwork twice last game. If you're one of those, he's feeling it. He should be due. He should be due this game.
Yeah, I don't hate that look either. But yeah, slate today, nothing that gets me too excited. It'll be very light. I've already locked in hard on NBA. I've got a few things out. Yeah, just nothing that gets the juices flowing.
I'm kind of locked in. A buddy of mine is doing a head-to-head baseball capper tournament where 3 picks a day. We got the pool, and then we'll do the top 16 seeds are gonna go head-to-head. So I've been pretty focused on baseball.
Give us
again, after
tip.
Champions League.
What do you got for today in the I know it's a shitty baseball slate, but like.
Dude, I'm just pissed that the fucking MLB doesn't realize they're pissing away a golden opportunity by not giving everybody Friday afternoon baseball. Like when I was in high school or even like right out of college, it was like, okay, fuck work. Are the Cubs playing at 1? Bet. Well, fucking. Right. Steve, fuck him. He's not going to work. We'll go hang out on his porch at 10 a.m. We'll pregame. We'll go to the Cubs game. And then we'll go to the beach for beers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that. Beers on a Friday afternoon sound pretty damn good. And yeah, baseball, man, they've always been kind of, hey, we've got our solid fan base. They're always going to show up. People that like baseball, and the people
I think they would really like it on Friday afternoon.
Right.
1:30 first pitch, crack a beer.
They alienate their own fans more than they reach out to try to win new fans.
Exactly.
Which is kind of counterproductive, you think, but like, I don't know. There's so little you can do to win a new fan for baseball because it's just not. The pace of the game is the problem. Like that. So they help and they're doing all right.
Yeah, their stinginess of who can share their property too.
Right.
Like the NBA does not give a shit who shares like a fantastic dunk or a cool lob pass. Like they don't need the rights for. You don't have to buy the rights to share their content. Whereas baseball. They will take your content down if you're sharing shit that you're not licensing from the MLB.
And the blackout
they shoot themselves in the foot by not putting their product in front of more people.
It's wild when you live in like in Indiana where I'm at. Like you're in between Cubs and Reds country, and
Yep.
like they're both be blacked out at the same time, and you're like, all right, what the fuck am I gonna watch here? Like, all right, I got a White Sox
Yeah,
game.
so you're
Like,
you end up watching fucking Yankees games or
right?
some shit,
It's
or a Phillies
well,
game. Just that said,
yeah. Let's get out of here.
yeah, let's get out of here real quick. I know you're kind of a Reds Cleveland guy.
Yeah.
Jonathan India might be one of the fucking hottest hitters in baseball right
Yep.
now. I took him. I love him. Over 1.5 total bases plus
Okay.
bat and lead off against a guy making his first major league appearance. He might hit a double, just like he did yesterday, lead off. So I like India a lot today, especially at that number. Press India right now until he's below minus 110 for 2 total
Yeah.
bases.
Yeah, India's a dog, man. He's definitely one of the best young players coming
He
through.
might be the best leadoff hitter in baseball right now, too. Like he gets up there. I mean, Acuna is very good too.
I was
Don't
gonna
get
say
me
you got
wrong.
Acuna and Tatis out there and stuff like that. I mean, he's up there, like especially. Yeah, I watch a lot of India's.
Contact. I like guys who hit to contact. I like guys who put the ball in play.
I like
And
guys
he's
that have
fast.
long hair.
I like everything about the reinvention of the leadoff hitter. I want a guy who gets on base and I want a guy who's gonna steal. And
I
India's
mean,
doing both of those.
Schwarber bat and leadoff doesn't do it for
No,
you.
Schwarber, somebody who K's at a 26 to 28 to 35% rate is not the guy I want with bat and leadoff. I don't care what the analytics say. Like the smaller base path and the massively higher success rate we're seeing on steals with the pitcher only being able to go out twice. I love it. I love bring back small ball. Like I even like seeing guys lay down bunts. I watched San Fran lay down 3 bunts last night and run 2 of them out successfully.
Dude, I saw the Royals walked off the game with a bunt. Like that
Yep.
was some wild shit you hadn't seen since like the '90s. But yeah, man, I like it.
Especially if you're the home team in extras with that runner on second base. If you hold the away team scoreless, I don't know how your first decision as a manager isn't fucking bunt it, get him to third, and that's the game.
It's because money, dude. This is hitters don't. When it comes time to negotiate your contract, the team is not going to look back and say, "Hey, remember that sack bunt you did that brought it?" All right,
Ribbies though. Ribbies pay the bills.
I know, but it's like that's why part of it is. It's like these players have more of a equity with the team than the managers half the time. Very few managers are like got the gravitas within the organization to be like, all right, dude, I'm gonna have you lay down this bunt and then have that guy say, fuck you. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm so it's tough, but yeah, I'm with you though. I like that brand of ball. But yeah. Let's get out of here, man. I got shit to do.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Always love chopping it up. Shout out Gold Boys for hosting us. Shout out Pickett for sponsoring us. I'm Burroaks. This is Box to Box. That's McAfee. Thank you to Sam, our producer. And we're fucking out.
We are.